The moment the black man stepped into the wedding hall, smiles disappeared. People turned away. Chairs shifted. Whispers spread like poison. No one knew his name. No one asked his story. They had already decided he didn't belong. But when the bride looked at him, her hands started shaking, and when she spoke his name out loud, the room realized, too late, they had just humiliated the man who saved her life. The wedding was supposed to be perfect. White flowers, soft music, golden evening light pouring through tall glass windows. A vineyard just outside the city, expensive, elegant, and carefully chosen to impress. Guests laughed, glasses clinked, phones captured moments meant to last forever. This was the kind of wedding people talked about for years. But beneath the beauty, something uncomfortable was already growing. You could feel it in the air. Like a truth waiting to surface. The bride, Amelia Carter, stood near the altar, adjusting her veil with hands that looked calm but weren't. She was 27, warm-hearted, and known for caring deeply about people most ignored. She worked as a school counselor, the kind who stayed late just to make sure one quiet child felt heard. Today she looked radiant, but inside, her chest felt tight. Not from nerves about marriage, from something else. Someone else. The groom, Ethan Weller, stood beside her, confident and polished. A successful corporate lawyer, raised in comfort, raised to believe reputation mattered. His family sat proudly in the front row. His mother, Denise, scanned the room like a supervisor, making sure everything, and everyone, fit her idea of perfection. To her, this wedding wasn't just love. It was an image. That's when the doors opened. The man stepped in quietly, holding a small white envelope and a simple bouquet of lilies. He didn't look lost. He didn't look aggressive. He looked careful, observant, like someone who already expected to be judged. He was tall, black, wearing a clean black suit. His face was calm, but his eyes carried something heavy. Years of learning when to stay silent. Conversation stalled. Laughter thinned out. A woman subtly pulled her purse closer. A man leaned toward his wife and whispered something that made her frown. No one welcomed him. No one asked why he was there. They just decided. Whispers moved faster than truth ever could. Is he staff? Did someone invite him? This is a private event. Eyes followed him as he walked further in, each step heavier than the last. He stopped near the back, not taking a seat, not pushing forward, just standing, waiting, like someone who knew how this usually ended. The wedding coordinator approached him with a tight smile, asking questions that sounded polite but felt sharp. A groomsman joined in, his tone louder, more confident than necessary. Security was called, not because the man did anything wrong, but because his presence made people uncomfortable. And discomfort, in that room, was treated like danger. As the guards reached him, the man didn't resist. He didn't argue. He didn't raise his voice. He simply said one thing, calmly, clearly. I'm here for the bride. That sentence should have solved everything. Instead, it made things worse. Denise stood up from her seat, lips tight, eyes cold. She didn't ask his name. She didn't ask his reason. She only said, loud enough for nearby guests to hear, he needs to leave. The word leave echoed like a verdict. The guards placed a hand on his arm. And that's when the bride turned around. Stop. Her voice cut through the room. Amelia stepped away from the altar, her veil shaking as much as her hands. She looked directly at the man near the exit. Her eyes filled instantly, like a dam cracking open. Don't touch him, she said. The room froze. She walked toward him, ignoring her mother-in-law's shocked expression, ignoring the murmurs, ignoring the confusion on Ethan's face. She stood beside the man, and then she said his name. Marcus Reed. The name changed everything. Marcus didn't look up. He didn't smile. He just closed his eyes briefly, like he'd been holding his breath for years. Amelia turned to the crowd, her voice shaking, but strong. You're all wondering why he's here. You're wondering who he is. Some of you already decided he didn't belong. She swallowed hard. This man raised me when nobody else wanted me. Silence. Amelia explained how she grew up moving from home to home, how she learned early not to expect love. How at 12 years old, she met Marcus at a community center. How he never asked questions, never judged. He just showed up, again and again. When her foster home collapsed and she had nowhere safe to go, Marcus gave her a room, food, stability, hope. Not because he had to, but because he chose to. He didn't save my life once, Amelia said. He saved it every single day. Faces changed, heads lowered. The same people who avoided Marcus earlier now couldn't meet his eyes. Ethan finally understood the stories Amelia had told him, the unnamed man who helped her survive. He stepped forward, ashamed. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. Marcus nodded, calm as ever. "I'm not here for apologies. I'm here because she asked me to be." Denise said nothing. For the first time, she had no words. Amelia took Marcus's hand. "Will you walk me back?" she asked. Gasps filled the room. And together, with Ethan on her other side, they walked to the altar. This time, people stood, not out of tradition, out of realization. Later that night, under soft lights and quiet music, Marcus stood outside, watching the celebration. Amelia hugged him tightly. "They saw you today," she whispered. Marcus shook his head. "No. They saw themselves." And that was the truth. Because the story was never about a wedding. It was about how easily people judge, how quickly they decide who belongs, and how powerful one name, one truth can be. The man they feared was the man who saved her.